Hey everybody, welcome back to S.C.Y, here to review some anime action. More specifically, My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia, Season 1. I'm actually rewatching this series for the umpteenth time. Probably rewatch this way too many times at this point. But Season 3 is coming out April 7th. They're actually going to be simuldubbing this series. So what that pretty much means in the future, boys and girls, is you're going to get the sub version and the dub version on the same fucking day. So I'm just going to go ahead and review the season right now. So Season 1, the whole plot line revolves around the young kid named Izuku Midoriya, and he is surrounded in a world where 80% of people have these powers called quirks. Now, 80% of the population in the world has quirks, where the 20% doesn't. Midoriya is one of those motherfuckers. So the whole idea is that there is a great hero named All Might, the symbol of peace and justice. He's the greatest hero of all time. And throughout the entirety of the story, Midoriya comes under the tutelage of All Might, and pretty much the adventure goes on from here on out. Minor spoiler alert, fucking All Might gives Midoriya his power, right? So that's pretty much how the plot kicks off. That's your basic synopsis right there. Heroes are real. Heroes are part of a day-to-day thing in this world where they're sanctioned by the government. They have pro-agencies where they go out, do good, and fight villains. So it's a really fun synopsis, and honestly, the characters make it that much more exciting and that much more intense. Definitely Midoriya is an interesting character, to say the least, because he doesn't really fit the mold of, typical shonen protagonist, right? Typical shonen protagonist, you got the fucking tough guy, kind of dumb, dumbed down, kind of strong dude who doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to get strong. Goku, Ichigo Kurosaki, fucking Naruto, Luffy from One Piece. I mean, you can name all these classic shonen characters where badass motherfuckers, but they're all about strength. They don't really show any weaknesses, generally speaking. Midoriya is a little different. Midoriya shows fragility, weakness from starting. I mean, from the get-go, he's quirkless. He has no quirk. But that's what makes him one of the best shonen characters, in my opinion. To show somebody, a main protagonist, go through a transition from being this weak piece of shit to continually growing and evolving, proving and disproving everybody along the way. It's an incredible journey to follow Midoriya along, and not to mention the fact that All Might is a badass motherfucker. Anytime he's on screen, you're just like, alright, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's either gonna be hilarious or fucking epic, because the visuals kick it up a notch. In terms of anime production, I mean, this is unbelievable, man. I mean, you watch this show, you're just thinking, wow, how did they get all this fucking action into one little thing? One particular battle that comes into mind is the end of Season 1, where All Might is facing Nomu, the genetically engineered creature by the main antagonist, which we will later know as All for One. Yeah, All for One. Because that's the quirk that All Might has, which is one for all. A little clever play on words and shit, but the visuals behind that fight alone was just incredible. You just realize that, wow, technology, anime, all this shit has combined and married to make the most fucking eye orgasm fucking visuals ever. It's awesome. So really, other than visuals, the aesthetics and of all that, the music is phenomenal in this series. So obviously, guys, I mean, if you've seen the series, if you've been on the internet, the "You Say Run Goes With Everything" meme, it's everywhere, because that theme song, that song in itself is fantastic. The opening, the ending for Season 1 is also something to really just praise. Those artists have been phenomenal. And I know I'm just stroking this fucking show, but really there's not a whole lot I can say negative about Season 1. Yes, granted, the pacing can be a little bit slow at times because you're just kind of going through the introductory stage, but that's part of Season 1. Part of Season 1 is for you to be patient with it, to have you kind of grow and, kind of roll in with these characters. So that's why, other than that, I mean, almost everything about the show is pretty phenomenal. But let's talk about some miscellaneous shit on the show here. So I like to do the sub versus dub thing, okay? So, might do this for the future episodes when season 3 pops up, but definitely something I want to talk about. So a lot of times I've been in the same boat where I've said, oh, the sub is so much better than the dub. Dub this fucking bullshit. Wrong. I definitely had to retract that statement a while back, especially after watching this series. The voice acting behind the dubbed version of My Hero Academia is actually pretty spot on. Granted, some of the subtleties in Japanese versus English gets lost. So one particular scene that comes to mind is the idea of deku, right? Deku in kanji, in the sub version, Katsuki, or fucking Bakugo. Bakugo goes ahead and says, dude, deku means in kanji, you can't do shit. And then Uraraka fucking flat out says in the school that, hey, no, deku means you can do it. So that's why Midoriya picks the name Deku, right? So subtleties like that gets lost, but honestly, the dubbing adds some phenomenal ad-libs and some, hilarious ad-libs by Chris Sabat, who voices All Might. Vegeta / Piccolo voices All Might, ladies and gentlemen, which is fucking awesome. So the dubbed isn't bad, all right? No, like dub isn't bad per se. It really has to do with what the production company wants to do with that. So if you see dubs of old Naruto dubs, I can't watch them. It just goes way too deep into that localization shit, which kind of kills it for me. But with this series, they do a pretty damn decent job of the dubbing. Subbed, forget about it. The Japanese is always the original. It's hilarious, right? And great. But that's really it. Season 1, it's a good introductory stage. And for those of you who haven't checked it out, go on VRV, go on Crunchyroll, go on Hulu. It's on all that shit right now. It's a fucking great series for you to get into, especially if you haven't watched anime in a while or anything like that. This really does break the kind of prototypical shonen journey that we're so used to seeing. So definitely a show to fucking check out. And that's about it for this review, man. It's a show for you to check out. It's definitely not the best in terms of the 2 seasons that's released right now. But again, a very good introductory season. But let me know what you guys think. Comment, subscribe, all that shit. And until next time, fuck off.